Have you ever cheated on your wife or husband or girlfriend or boyfriend? I know no matter what happens he would always be there. He was the keeper. Cried for months. I started to reflect and depressed for a year. Even now I still can't help crying when I think of how good he was to me and how wrong I was. After this, I have changed entirely. I learned to be nice to everyone and have a heart. I will never cheat again. Have you ever cheated on your wife or husband or girlfriend or boyfriend? Yes, my ex-husband. And fortunately this answer likely won't bring clearance about cheaters which people look for. I look for that answer as well. We were married way over 10 years, of which the last over 6 years we had intimacy once in every 2 to 3 months. I tried everything I could think of, dressed up, read every book and article of relationships and intimacy I could get my hands on. He sometimes pleaded me, but we didn't have actual intimacy together. Half of the intimacy is as missing, and when we finally on those rare occasions had it, it was always the same position and in the dark bedroom since he was ashamed of his body. I adored and wanted him regardless of his thoughts of himself. I started to look for medical reasons for his inactivity. But he wasn't interested of seeking help and instead rather buried himself in work and video games during time off. We did spend time in the same house every day minus my work day, so it wasn't about that we wouldn't had time or that we were tired of work. I finally got tired of it. I craved intimacy. I hesitated having a divorce, but started working towards it and made a decision to have it within 6 months. I looked for a toy boy, someone I'd never get involved other way. I found one. Which I ended up being stuck with, but that's a different story. After a while my ex-husband asked me if I had cheated on him and I admitted and said yes. He said that he wanted to stay together and do things differently, that he understood and wanted to make things better. I told him that it was too late. His forgiveness didn't matter. I had crossed the line which never should be crossed in marriage, and therefore I wanted to have a divorce, which we did. On aftermath. I still don't know what I could have done differently to wake him up earlier. By society's rules I of course should have had divorce earlier. There just wasn't a reason. Our sense of humor is similar. Our finances together were good. On those rare occasions we spent time together, it was great. But the lack of intimacy for no known reason was too much for me. I went through personal hell during those years. Insecurities, jealousy, feeling not wanted, and the list goes on and on. We still are in good terms, not close friends, but still choose talk to each other. We wouldn't have to. No mutual friends, no children, etc. Have you ever cheated on your wife or husband or girlfriend or boyfriend? Yes, once. My first husband. I was 20. We had been married a couple of years. Our son was a toddler. My husband went from a normal, healthy young disabled man to a really sick, weak, thin, bedridden, grumpy old man in a matter of months after we had gotten married. I could not be attracted to him, although I really did love him. I'm not sure how much I ever really was that physically attracted. Might have just been teenage hormones before. But I grew up. He got ill. Our hormones changed, and I couldn't see him as a husband, but more of a patient, I wasn't a healer then. I mean, he was just really sick. He needed 24-hour care by then, but we only had help a few hours a day. So it was all on me. We were also so poor we had to steal food. I had just started school for music and put the baby in daycare while I was there. And I met other musicians my age who could walk and drive and wipe their own butts. I realized then that my marriage was not what I wanted. But I couldn't tell him because I didn't want to hurt him. Really, I was chicken. I would never have left him, because then how would he live? He needed a lot of care. Then later, feeding tube. Actually, he got the tube later, but he could hardly eat by this time, already washing, shaving, etc. He didn't get dressed or get up by then, but he still had to be washed and turned so he wouldn't get BDSO or yes. So yeah, I cheated. It was wrong. I was sorry. He never knew for sure, but he knew we weren't happy together, and we decided to separate. I loved him till the day he died. Still do, actually, but that wasn't what I wanted from marriage. I should have seen that. My dad was right, and I should have had the guts to be honest. But I learned. I have never again lied to a partner or cheated, and it's been 20 years. Anyway, my ex has been dead for years now. I hope he knows I love him and I'm sorry, and I hope he forgives me. Have you ever cheated on your husband, wife, boyfriend, or girlfriend? I am not the cheating kind and I was done, but yes, I did cheat. I was with my BF from 3 years and was completely honest to him. I came to know that he cheated on me for 6 months and actually had another GF. He said sorry. Some months go fine, except that I caught him trying to sext with a girl via an app. He always used to lie to me, kept me second guessing. Anyway, 6 months down the lane, I come to know through mutual friends that he slept with a prostitute and never told me. I confront him. He lies. He was also a pathological liar. He cried and said sorry. I asked him to never contact me again, but he begs and makes my life miserable. I forgive him, but inside I stopped loving him. Anyway, during that time I met an amazing guy, who is a handsome, loving, truthful, honest man. We had this amazing chemistry and could never shake off the feelings I had for him, but I couldn't leave my BF since we had so much history together. During this time we used to make out almost every day. He was always there for me while I cried in his arms for cheating on my BF and feeling guilty. He was there through it all and loved me for who I am. Anyway, 3 months down the lane, my BF came to know about him and inquired me and asked me to leave the other guy, but I left him instead. Best decision ever made. I never had to think twice with him, never had to be treated like shit and worry about him cheating on me. Every day till now, it's been 4 years, he is madly in love with me and is always by my side. I always used to worry that his love for me and this honeymoon period would run out, but he always said it would never go away, and he proved it. In short, if you're in a shitty relationship, please leave ASAP. The right one is waiting. Although it's always better to not cheat.